If you're a maker and you want to get started with Instagram Reels, or you want to get back into making them, today's video is for you. I am going to share a bunch of different ideas for Reels that you can make specifically as a handmade business owner. If you don't know me, my name is Jess. I've been running my own successful handmade business Ethereal since 2008, and since 2010 I've been helping other makers just like you and me to grow their handmade hobbies into thriving and profitable businesses. So we all know Instagram is a big part of the marketing story for makers. Yes, there are lots of other things out there. There's TikTok, there's Facebook, there's SEO. But today let's talk a little bit about Instagram and Instagram Reels specifically, because this is a really great way to grow your reach on Instagram. However, it can get very, very tiring trying to come up with new ideas for what you're going to do with your Reels. So in this video, I'm going to give you 7 ideas that you can use in order to grow your account on Instagram and get more views on your Reels. But before we start, 2 quick things. Number 1, I actually have a free download with 30 ideas that you can get in the description below. So if you would like to download that, just click on that link in the description after you finish watching the video, and you'll get access to 30 great ideas specifically for handmade business owners that you can use to create Reels. Most of which you can do without showing your face if that is something that you want to avoid doing. Although I would encourage you to consider getting in front of the camera. I promise you it gets easier the more that you do it. And the second thing is that I'm running a Reels challenge very, very soon inside my membership community for makers, the THRI Circle. It's a week-long challenge. I'll be challenging you to post a reel every day for 7 days alongside everyone else taking the challenge. And during the challenge, I'm going to be teaching you lots of tips and tricks about how to create excellent Reels that will gain traction on Instagram. So if you want to get access to that as well, make sure to head on over to thrivacircle.com. I've got a link in the description below directly to find out more about the Reels challenge. It's starting on November 20th, 2023. If you're watching this later, I do tend to run it once a year, so maybe you can catch it next time round. Let's get into the ideas. Number 1, don't be afraid of not being perfect. Consider showing a crafting failure. Perhaps a piece that you made that didn't work out the way you thought it was going to be. If you're a ceramicist, you could show a piece that cracked in the kiln, for example, and just make a bit of a humorous reel about things not always going to plan. Number 2, consider making a product showcase reel where you do close-up shots of different angles of your product in quick succession to highlight the things that make it special. You might like to use interesting lighting, you might like to use text overlay to explain the features of your product, and also perhaps the benefits of your product, the things that people will enjoy about it. For example, if you make a crossbody bag, maybe you can show how the straps attach, show the zip, show the inside, explain what the pockets are made for, even show it being worn on a person so that people can get a feel for what it looks like. Show people putting phones or notebooks or laptops or whatever it is that the bag is made for in and out of the bag. I love watching those sorts of videos. Number 3 is a behind the scenes. Show a product being made from beginning to end, including sourcing and gathering the materials and tools, making parts of the process, and then showing the finished product. Now, these sorts of reels take a little bit of work to create because you have to set up your camera and film every single part of the process. But if you get some simple equipment like a tripod stand for your phone, then it's a really easy thing to do and set up and just have there while you're working. In fact, I would encourage you to do this on a regular basis, is just to have that phone tripod in your studio so that you can easily pop your phone into it and film whenever you are creating. Number 4 is a craft room tour. Show people your creative space. Now, sometimes we don't have the most attractive creative spaces. Maybe we work at the kitchen table. Maybe our studio is not the most aesthetically pleasing, but that's okay. We can show the reality. In fact, you could even do like an Instagram versus reality where you film show you up close your hands and making the product. It looks all pretty, and then do like a cut scene to the actual studio space and show what the reality of it is. I've seen some great ones where people are like, you see those Instagrams where everybody's studio looks perfect and then they show a reel of their own studio and it's like a bomb has exploded in there. That sort of thing can be funny as well. So consider doing something like that. Number 5 is to 100% take advantage of trending audio. If you don't know what trending audio is, I'll quickly explain it. But I also have a previous video on my channel about how to make amazing reels. I'll leave a link to that up here and in the description below. So I talk a lot more about the kind of technological side of making reels in that video if that's something you need to learn. But what you need to do is, as you're scrolling through the reels tab in Instagram, look at the audio and you'll see a little upwards facing arrow. That means the audio is trending. So what you want to do is click on that audio, go in and have a look at how many reels have used it. You want to look for something between like 5,000 and 20,000-ish reels having used that audio. That's a good place to kind of jump on a trending audio and use it in your own feed. You could even look through the reels that have used the audio and see if there are any templates there that you could kind of steal and use as well. Number 6 is showing your product in motion. So show it moving. That's one of the nice things about video versus photos, is that we can actually show the reality of our product. You know, if you've got clothing, you can show how it moves, how it drapes. If you make jewelry, you can show how it hangs or how it sits on a necklace or an earring or a finger. If you make mugs, you can just show it being drunk out of or just rotate it around. Anything that kind of catches the eye, any sort of movement with your products is a great thing. And bonus tip, if you create a video like this, it's a great one that you can chuck in your Etsy shop, because obviously we have videos in our Etsy shops now. So if you do have an Etsy shop and you're selling that product in there, you want to put a video in there showcasing your product. So if you're making a video to put on a reel showcasing your product in movement, in motion, why not use that same video in your Etsy shop? And the final one is a client testimonial reel. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. If you're lucky enough to have video from your clients, you know, if they've done a video review, then you can just post that on your account with a thank you and a credit to the original maker of it. If you don't have a video from a customer, hopefully you have some photos. So a nice thing, you know, about having an Etsy shop is people can upload photos of themselves with your product or their photos of your product. So you could take those photos and you could overlay the text of their review on that. Or if you don't even have that, you can use your own product photos and simply overlay the text of reviews from your happy customers. And to make this a bit more dynamic, use the typewritery feature on Reels. So when you put text in there, you can either have it come up all at once, or you can have it actually come up like a typewriter. So consider doing that to add some dynamism to what would perhaps otherwise be a quite static video. If you've seen any great ideas for Reels that could be used by a handmade business, please leave them in the comments below, or if you have any questions about Reels in general. Remember to grab a copy of that free download with 30 ideas for Reels for handmade business owners, and I'd love to see you in the Instagram Reels challenge in the Thriver Circle as well. It'd be great to get to know you and help you to improve your Reel game. In the meantime, I will leave you with that video I mentioned earlier about how to make amazing Reels. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.